Hey, Jay here. We got our latest little test for you. We really like the new KTM 300. No big secret, done a bunch of stories with them already. And so today we're going to compare it to the 250 XC. You go, well, why would you want to go smaller? Well, one of the big things is these 250 XCs are a little bit more available because all the 300s are selling out because all the old chubbier guys all buying the 300. So we want to compare it to this 250. So these bikes are identical other than the 50 cc's difference in the motor. Same good forks that we like. The engine's brand new. Got the new counterbalancer in it. Little to no vibration. So we really like that in the new lightweight engine. Got the same good brakes we like. Got the same good hydraulic clutch that we really like. So lightweight bike, low vibration. So with this new 250 XC, we want to see how it compares. We've already done the rough field test. And on the field test, surprisingly, the 250 XC just feels really good. On my little grass track here, it feels really good. So we're looking forward to go getting on the trails. My buddy Jim and I are gonna run this. I got my boys out for a little bit on injured reserve, so Jim and I are gonna go test this thing back to back against the 300 on the trail to kind of see who might be best off with this 250 XC and let you know what we think. Okay, so first off, as soon as we got in the trail, we noticed how close these bikes feel. They do feel really close, and there's some good things on both bikes. On the 250, felt like just a really good snap. Really quick and lighter feeling, believe it or not, just a tiny bit lighter feeling. Not like when you ride a 450 and step down to a 350 or 250. You know, it's not that big of a difference by any means. It's just a tiny difference because these bikes weigh basically the same and just 50 cc's difference. The 250 could really use a little bit more jetting help. It's really decent the way this one is, and that's a borrowed bike, so it's where we have to work with. We've got the jetting on the 300 dialed in really well that you've seen in some of our other videos. The suspension on both bikes do feel great. It feels the same because they are the same. On the 250, I felt a little bit more comfortable, maybe the tighter stuff, especially the slow moving tight stuff that didn't require much power, definitely felt a little bit better. On the 250, I found myself a little bit more in first gear. Couldn't pull second as much as the 300 would. But surprisingly, it did really well up tough hills, just not the huge fast, like say sand up hills that require a ton of power. Obviously it has 50 cc's less power. The vibration on both bikes is minimal. I guess you could say the 250 maybe had a tiny bit less vibration, but so small, hard to even tell because both bikes vibrate so little. Okay, so that's a wrap. We got a couple days riding these two things, and which one's the winner? Well, it's pretty easy. For me, being a little bit bigger, the 300 is a winner. You just can't go wrong with it. Now, so who's the 250 better for? And I would say for anybody that's a little bit smaller, lighter guy or gal, who's not doing a bunch of big power stuff, not big hill climbs, wide open stuff, they could be just fine on the 250. But I think if you're a bigger guy and your skill level is getting to where you're going to be doing a lot of bigger stuff, I think you're eventually going to wish you had the 300 kit on there. So maybe a year or two later you add the 300 kit. So the 250s are a little bit easier to find from your shop. Maybe you can get a better deal, ride it for a year or two the way it is and make it a 300 later. That's an option, but you can't go wrong with either bike. They're both incredible, but for me the 300 is just an incredible machine.